Hello everyone and welcome to Pinnacle Gamers Lounge. In today's extended episode of Ship Comparisons, we will do a statistical comparison of all the Tier 5 premium and non-premium or Tech Tree battleships. So before we begin, I hope you all hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and also remember to hit the bell icon to stay notified with our upcoming videos. Well, with this, let's start today's video. All in all, we have 11 battleships at Tier 5. So let's compare the hit points at the very outset. USS New York, the American Tier 5 Tech Tree battleship, has a total hit points of 33,936. IJN Congo, the Japanese Tier 5 Tech Tree battleship, has a total hit points of 36,624. HMS Iron Duke, the Tier 5 British Tech Tree battleship, has a total hit points of 34,048. Pyotr Veliki, the Tier 5 Tech Tree Russian battleship, has a total hit points of 34,272. MN Britannia, the Tier 5 French Tech Tree battleship, has a total hit points of 31,136. SMS Viribus Unitas, the premium Tier 5 Austro-Hungarian battleship, has a total hit point of 27,400. SMS Koenig, the Tier 5 Tech Tree German battleship, has a total hit points of 32,704. USS Texas, the American premium Tier 5 battleship, has a total hit points of 33,040. HMS Agincourt, the Tier 5 premium British battleship, has a total hit points of 34,944. The RM Giulio Cesare, the Tier 5 Italian premium battleship, that has a total hit points of 33,600. And finally, Oktyabrskyaya Revolutsiya, the Tier 5 premium Russian battleship, has a total hit points of 33,376. Now that we have seen all the individual hit points of all the 11 battleships, let us give them a HP or hit points rating. The rating starts at 1, which indicates the weakest battleship in the tier, and goes up to 11, which is the strongest battleship in the tier in terms of hit points. So with that list, we can say that SMS Viribus Unitas is ranked as number 1, that has the lowest hit points, followed by MN Britannia, SMS Koenig, USS Texas, Oktyabrskyaya Revolutsiya, RM Giulio Cesare, USS New York, HMS Iron Duke, Pyotr Veliki, HMS Agincourt, and finally IJN Congo, making it the fact that IJN Congo has the highest hit point in its tier, while SMS Viribus Unitas has the lowest hit points. Citadel is the most important area of a ship, and thus it is very important to give a decent Citadel protection to all battleships. Let us look at the individual Citadel protection of these battleships. USS New York has 12.5% Citadel protection, IJN Congo has 10%, HMS Iron Duke has 10%, Pyotr Veliki 12.5%, MN Britannia 10%, SMS Viribus Unitas 12.5%, SMS Koenig 12.5%, USS Texas 12.5%, HMS Agincourt 10%, RM Giulio Cesare 12.5%, and finally Oktyabrskyaya Revolutsiya at 10%. Thus, IJN Congo, HMS Iron Duke, MN Britannia, HMS Agincourt, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolutsiya have a rating of 1 in the Citadel protection or CP rating, while USS New York, Pyotr Veliki, SMS Viribus Unitas, SMS Koenig, USS Texas, and RM Giulio Cesare have a rating of 2 in the CP rating. After the ship's Citadel has been secured, it is now important to prevent the ship from catching fire or susceptible to being flooded. Thus, we have fire and flooding resistance. Let us now individually look at the different fire and flooding resistances of these battleships. USS New York has 12.5% fire and flooding resistance, IJN Congo has 12.5%, HMS Iron Duke has 10%, Piotr Veliki again 12.5%, MN Britannia 10%, SMS Viribus Unitas 12.5%, SMS Koenig 10%, USS Texas 12.5%, HMS Agincourt 10%, RM Julio Cesar 10%, and Oktyabrskyaya Revoluция at 10%. After the ship Citadel has been secured, it is now important to prevent the ship from catching fire or susceptible to being flooded. Thus, we have fire and flooding resistance. Let us now individually look at the different fire and flooding resistances of these battleships. USS New York has 12.5% fire and flooding resistance. IJN Congo has 12.5%. HMS Iron Duke has 10%. Piotr Veliki again 12.5%. MN Britannia 10%. SMS Viribus Unitas 12.5%. SMS Koenig 10%. USS Texas 12.5%. HMS Agincourt 10%. RM Julio Cesar 10%, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolucja at 10%. The armor scheme of the battleship above the waterline decides how much damage can be reduced on the ship. Let us look at the individual damage reduction of each battleship. USS New York has a damage reduction of 13.5%, IJN Congo of 12%, HMS Iron Duke of 12%, Piotr Veliki of 13.5%, MN Britannia of 10.5%, SMS Viribus Unitas of 12%, SMS Koenig of 12%, USS Texas 15%, HMS Agincourt 10.5%, RM Julio Cesar of 13.5%, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolucja 12%. Thus, with this, let us look at a damage reduction or DR rating that these battleships have got. So, MN Britannia and HMS Agincourt have got a DR rating of 1, IJN Congo, HMS Iron Duke, SMS Viribus Unitas, SMS Koenig, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolucja have got a rating of 2. USS New York, Piotr Veliki, and RM Julio Cesar have got a rating of 3, and USS Texas has got a rating of 4. Finally, we have to add some underwater protection so that the damage of torpedoes can be reduced. Thus, let us see the torpedo damage reduction of these battleships to compare her underwater armor scheme. USS New York has a whopping 18% torpedo damage reduction, IJN Congo has 12%, HMS Iron Duke 12%, Piotr Veliki 13.5%, MN Britannia 10.5%, Viribus Unitas 12%, Koenig 12%, USS Texas 19.5%, HMS Agincourt 10.5%, RM Julio Cesar 10.5%, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolucja 12%. In terms of TDR ratings or torpedo damage reduction ratings, MN Britannia, HMS Agincourt, and RM Julio Cesar have got TDR rating of 1. IJN Congo, HMS Iron Duke, SMS Viribus Unitas, SMS Koenig, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolucja have a TDR rating of 2. Piotr Veliki has a TDR rating of 3. USS New York 4. And finally, USS Texas has a TDR rating of 5. Now that the ship is armored and ready for battle, let us take a cumulative survivability rating of the ship to see how good she would stand in battle. So USS New York has a CS rating of 18, IJN Congo of 18, HMS Iron Duke 14, Piotr Veliki 19, MN Britannia 6, SMS Viribus Unitas 9, SMS Koenig 10, USS Texas 17, HMS Agincourt 14, RM Julio Cesar 13, and Oktyabrskyaya Revolucja 11. And in this list, we can clearly see that MN Britannia has the worst CS rating and thus is the most easily destroyable ship, while Piotr Veliki has the highest CS rating of 19. There are a few systems in the game such as fires, floods, and HP recovery systems which are directly affected by the hit points and also affect the hit points in the long run. Thus, let us take a look at these systems. USS New York has a total hit points of 33,936 and thus the damage by one fire is 3,393.6 hit points. Damage by 2 fires is 6,787.2 hit points. Damage by 3 fires is 10,180.8 hit points. Damage by flooding is 8484 hit points. And when using the normal repair kits, HP recovered by using 3 of such kits is 14,558.544, while HP recovered by using 3 advanced repair kits is 17,001.936. On the same note, IJN Congo has hit points of 36,624. Thus, the damage caused by 1 fire is 3662.4. Damage by 2 fires is 7324.8. Damage by 3 fires is 10987.2. Damage by flooding is 9156. HP recovered by using 3 repair kits is 15,711.696, while hit points recovered by using 3 advanced repair kits is 18,348.624. HMS Iron Duke has a total hit points of 34,048. So, damage by 1 fire is 3404.8. Damage by 2 fires is 6809.6. And damage by 3 fires is 10214.4. Damage by flooding is 8512. HP recovered by 3 repair kits by using 3 repair kits is 14,606.592, and HP recovered by 3 advanced repair kits is 17,058.048. For Piotr Veliki, hit points, it has 34,272 hit points, and damage caused by 1 fire is 3427.2. Damage caused by 2 fires is 6854.4. Damage by 3 fires is 10281.6. Damage by flooding is 8568. Damage recovered by 3 repair kits is 14702.688. And HP recovered by 3 advanced repair kit is 17170.272. I'm sorry if I am getting a bit stuck up because there are a lot of data which we need to read out. So if I am mixing up something, I'm really sorry for that. I hope you all understand it. So for M in Britannia, it's 31,136 total hit points. Thus, damage by 1 fire is 3113.6. Damage by 2 fires is 6227.2. Damage by 3 fires is 9340.8. Damage by flooding is 7784. HP recovered by using 3 repair kits is 13357.344. And HP recovered by using 3 advanced repair kits is 15599.136. SMS Viribus Unitas has a total hit points of 27,400. Thus, damage by 1 fire is 2740 hit points. Damage by 2 fires is 5480. Damage by 3 fires is 8220. Damage by flooding is 6850. HP recovered by 3 repair kits is 11754.6, and by using 3 advanced repair kits is 13,727.4. For SMS Koenig, it's 32,704 total hit points. Thus, 3270.4 damage by 1 fire, 6540.8 damage by 2 fires, and 9811.2 hit points damage by 3 fires. 8176 damage by flooding, 14,030.016 HP recovered by 3 repair kits, while 16,384.704 hit points recovered by using 3 advanced repair kits. USS Texas has a total hit points of 33040. Damage taken by 1 fire is 3304. Damage by 2 fires is 6608. And damage by 3 fires is 9912. Damage by flooding is 8260. Damage by 3 damage recovered or HP recovered by 3 repair kits is 14174.16, and HP recovered by 3 advanced repair kits is 16553.04. HMS Agincourt has a total hit points of 34944 and thus takes 349.4 damage with 1 fire, 6988.8 damage in 2 fires, in 10483.2 in 3 fires, and takes 8736 hit points damage by flooding, and recovers 14,990.976 hit points by using 3 repair kits, or 17,506.944 hit points using 3 advanced repair kits. RM Julio Cesar has a total hit point of 33600 and thus takes 3360 hit point damage by 1 fire, 6720 hit points by 2 fires, and 10080 damage by 3 fires. Damage by flooding is 8400, and HP recovered by 3 repair kits is 14414.4, and HP recovered by 3 advanced repair kits is 16833.6. And finally, Oktarabitskaya Revoluция has a total hit points of 33376 and thus takes 3337.6 damage by 1 fire, 6672.2 damage by 2 fires, and 10012.8 damage by 3 fires. Takes 8344 hit points damage by flooding and recovers 14318 hit points, 14318.304 hit points by using 3 repair kits, and 16,721.376 hit points by using 3 advanced repair kits. Now that the ship is ready to sail, we need to provide a propulsion system so that the ship can move, and this propulsion system has a maximum speed of operation. So let's compare the maximum speed of these ships which are given in knots. USS New York has a maximum speed of 20.42 knots, IJN Congo 29.31 knots, HMS Iron Duke 22.51 knots, Piotr Veliki 25.98 knots, MN Britannia 21.12 knots, HMS Viribus Unitas 21.12 knots, SMS Koenig 21.95 knots, USS Texas 20.42 knots, HMS Agincourt 21.67 knots, RM Julio Cesar 26.12 knots, and Oktarabitskaya Revoluция 23.34 knots. From slowest to the fastest, USS New York and USS Texas has a speed rating of 1, MN Britannia and SMS Viribus Unitas has a rating of 2, HMS Agincourt has a rating of 3, SMS Koenig has a rating of 4, HMS Iron Duke a rating of 5, Oktarabitskaya Revoluция a rating of 6, Piotr Veliki a rating of 7, RM Julio Cesar a rating of 8, and IJN Congo a rating of 9. Thus, IJN Congo is the fastest ship in her tier, while USS New York and USS Texas are the slowest. There are times in battle when we need to evade from shells and torpedoes, and thus the ship needs to traverse on an angular path. Now we will compare the maximum traverse speed of these ships, which are shown in degrees per second. USS New York has a maximum traverse speed of 5.2 degrees per second, IJN Congo 5.6 degrees per second, HMS New York 5.1 degrees per second, Piotr Veliki 4.8 degrees per second, MN Britannia 5.3 degrees per second, SMS Viribus Unitas 5.9 degrees per second, SMS Koenig 5.6 degrees per second, USS Texas 5.2 degrees per second, HMS Agincourt 5 degrees per second, RM Julio Cesar 5.7 degrees per second, Oktarabitskaya Revolucja 5.8 degrees per second. Thus, Piotr Veliki has a traverse speed or TS rating of 1, HMS Agincourt has a TS rating of 2, HMS Iron Duke of 3, USS New York and USS Texas has a rating of 4, MN Britannia a rating of 5, IJN Congo and SMS Koenig a rating of 6, RM Julio Cesar a rating of 7, Oktarabitskaya Revolucja a rating of 8, and SMS Viribus Unitas as a rating of 9. In some micro interactions of this game, it is also important to check out the acceleration of these ships to understand how fast can we reach a war zone or how fast can we fulfill an objective. Thus, let us look at the acceleration of these ships. USS New York, as we said, has a maximum speed of 20.42 knots and takes 23.29 seconds to reach maximum speed. Thus, the acceleration of the ship comes out to be 0.87. IJN Congo has 29.31 knots maximum speed and takes 20.43 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, she has an acceleration of 1.43 knots per second, of course, knots per second. And knots also is like kilometers per second or kilometers per hour calculation. So we have done knots per second calculation. HMS Iron Duke has a maximum speed of 22.51 knots and takes 20.73 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, acceleration is 1.085. Puerto Veliki has a maximum speed of 25.98 and requires 26.26 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, acceleration is 0.989. Emin Britannia has a 21.12 maximum speed, 21.12 knots, and requires 21.11 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, acceleration is about 1 knots per second. SMS Koenig has 21.95 maximum speed and 22.44 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, acceleration is 0.978. USS Texas has a 20.42 knots maximum speed and 23.29 seconds time to reach maximum speed. Thus, it has a similar acceleration to USS New York as 0.876. HMS Agincourt 21.67 knots maximum speed and requires 22.1 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, acceleration is 0.98 knots per second. RM Julio Cesar has 26.12 knots maximum speed and requires 25.82 seconds to reach full speed. Thus, has an acceleration of 1.116. And finally, Oktyabitska Revoluция has a maximum speed of 23.34 knots and requires 20.29 seconds to reach full speed, thus having an acceleration of 1.15. Battleship, or so as to say a warship, is who she is just because of its guns. And there are two types of guns which are attached or fitted onto battleships. That is, the primary guns and the secondary guns. Let us look at the primary guns first and let us compare the reload times of the primary guns of these ships. The primary guns of USS New York has a reload time of 23 seconds, IJN Congo of 21 seconds, HMS Iron Duke 22 seconds, Puerto Veliki 23 seconds, MN Britannia 22 seconds, SMS Viribus Unitas 22 seconds, SMS Koenig 19 seconds, USS Texas 23 seconds, HMS Agincourt 21 seconds, RM Julio Cesar 21 seconds, and Oktyabitska Revolucja of 22 seconds. Thus, USS New York, Puerto Veliki, and USS Texas have a reload time or RT rating of 1. HMS Iron Duke, MN Britannia, SMS Viribus Unitas, and Oktyabitska Revolucja have a reload time rating or RT rating of 2. IJN Congo, HMS Agincourt, and RM Julio Cesar has a rating of 3, and SMS Koenig has a rating of 4. Along with a faster reload, the guns need to have some decent range so that they can fire at an angle and cause damage even before the enemy can see them or attack them. Thus, let us compare the ranges of the primary guns of these battleships. USS New York has a gun whose range is 11.64 kilometers. IJN Congo is 12.21 kilometers. HMS Iron Duke 11.7 kilometers. Puerto Veliki 11.77 kilometers. MN Britannia 11.7 kilometers. SMS Viribus Unitas 11.7 kilometers. SMS Koenig 12.08 kilometers. USS Texas 11.77 kilometers. HMS Agincourt 10.81 kilometers. RM Julio Cesar 11.32 kilometers, and finally Oktyabitska Revolucja 11.45 kilometers. HMS Agincourt has a range rating of 1, RM Julio Cesar range rating of 2, Oktyabitska Revolucja rating of 3, USS New York rating of 4, HMS Iron Duke, MN Britannia, and SMS Viribus Unitas rating of 5, Puerto Veliki and USS Texas rating of 6, SMS Koenig rating of 7, and IJN Congo a rating of 8. Nothing is perfect in this world, and this also holds true for naval guns and gunnery systems. Thus, we need to consider a dispersion factor which is not provided in the game, but we calculated the dispersion factor as the ratio of the number of hits versus total number of shells fired in a span of 100 rounds. By doing this calculation, we have found that USS New York has a dispersion factor of 0.8, IJN Congo of 0.854, HMS Iron Duke of 0.936, Piotr Veliki of 0.983, MN Britannia of 0.79, SMS Veribus Unitas of 0.712, SMS Koenig of 0.736, USS Texas of 0.834, HMS Agenco of 0.982, RM Gulio Cesar of 0.9, and Oktyabrská Revolucia of 0.833. High explosive or HE shells are a very important type of shells fired by naval guns. The main importance of HE shells is that it has a capacity to set fires and also cause substantial damage over a period of time. Let us now compare the HE shell damage of these battleships. USS New York has a HE shell damage of 941, IJN Congo 986, HMS Iron Duke 1064, Piotr Veliki 974, MN Britannia 840, SMS Veribus Unitas 784, SMS Koenig 672, USS Texas 941, HMS Agenco 963, RM Julio Cesar 896, and Oktyabrská Revolucia 840. Thus, SMS Koenig has the lowest HE shell rating of 1, SMS Veribus Unitas has a rating of 2, MN Britannia and Oktyabrská Revolucia has a rating of 3, RM Julio Cesar 4, USS Texas and USS New York 5, HMS Agenco 6, Piotr Veliki 7, IJN Congo 8, and HMS Iron Duke has the highest HE shell rating of 9. Now that we know the HE shell damage of all these ships, let us find out the DPM of these ships or damage per minute of these ships when using HE shells. The formula for finding the DPM is, it's a ratio between two factors. The numerator has number of guns n into dispersion factor delta into damage of one HE shell d into 60 seconds per minute, and then we divide that particular numerator with the denominator as reload time r. So doing that particular formulation, we have found out that USS New York, doing that particular calculation, as she has 23 seconds of reload time, 10 guns and dispersion factor of 0.8 with 941 HE shell damage, the DPM turns out to be 19,638.261. IJN Congo has 21 seconds of reload time, 8 guns and dispersion factor of 0.854 and HE shell damage of 986. Thus, she has a DPM of 19,246.72. HMS Iron Duke has 22 seconds reload time, 10 guns, dispersion factor of 0.936 and HE shell damage of 1064. Thus, she has a DPM of 27,161.018. Piotr Veliki has a 23 seconds reload time, 8 guns, 0.983 dispersion and 974 HE shell damage. Thus, she has a DPM of 19,981.398. MN Britannia has a reload time of 22 seconds, 10 guns, dispersion of 0.79 and HE shell damage of 840. Thus, she has a DPM of 18,098.181. SMS Veribus Unitas has a reload time of 22 seconds, has 12 guns, dispersion of 0.712 and HE shell damage of 784. Thus, she has a DPM of 18,268.625. SMS Koenig has a 19-second reload time, has 10 guns, 0.736 dispersion, and an HE shell damage of 672. Thus, she has a DPM of 15,618.69. USS Texas has a reload time of 23 seconds, 10 guns, dispersion factor of 0.835, and HE shell damage of 941. Thus, she has a DPM of 20,497.434. HMS Agenco has a reload time of 21 seconds, has 14 guns, dispersion of 0.982, and HE shell damage of 963. Thus, she stands highest in the DPM with 37,826.64 DPM. RM Julio Cesar has a reload time of 21 seconds, has 10 guns, dispersion of 0.9, and HE shell damage of 896, a DPM of 23,040. And finally, Oktyabrská Revolucia has a reload time of 22 seconds, 12 guns, dispersion factor of 0.833, and HE shell damage of 840. Thus, she has a DPM of 22,899.927. And clearly, we can see that Ashenko has the highest, as we said, 37,826.64, and SMS Koenig has the lowest of 15,618.694. Other than that, everything ranges from about 18,000 to 27,000, so this is a decent DPM. There are three different mechanics which govern the damage output of HE shells. The first, of course, is complete penetration, for which the values have been specified. Other than that, there are half penetrations and Citadel penetrations for HE shells. Let us look at the damage output for half pens and Citadel penetrations for all these battleships. Thus, USS New York has HE half penetration of 470.5 and Citadel penetration of 2352.5. IJN Congo has half penetration of 493 and Citadel penetration of 2465. HMS Iron Duke has HE half penetration of 532 and Citadel penetration of 2660. Puerto Veliki has half shell penetration of 487 and Citadel penetration of 2435. MN Britannia has half pen of 420 and HE shell Citadel penetration of 2100. SMS Viribus Unitas has half pen of 392 and Citadel penetration of 1960. SMS Koenig has half pen of 336 and Citadel penetration of 1680. USS Texas has half penetration of 470.5 and Citadel penetration of 2352.5. HMS Agincourt has half pen of 481.5 and Citadel penetration of 2407.5. RM Julio Cesar has HE shell half penetration of 448 and Citadel penetration of 2240, and Oktarbutska Revolutia has half penetration of 420 and Citadel penetration of 2100. As I previously mentioned, HE shells have a capacity to set fires. Let us compare the fire chance of these shells of these battleships. USS New York has a fire chance of 10%, Congo has 12%, HMS Iron Duke 12%, Piotr Veliki 12%, MN Britannia 10%, SMS Viribus Unitas 8%, SMS Koenig 8%, USS Texas 10%, HMS Agincourt 10%, RM Julio Cesar 9%, and Oktarbutska Revolutia 10%. Thus, SMS Viribus Unitas and SMS Koenig has the lowest fire chance rating of 1, RM Julio Cesar has a fire chance rating of 2, Oktarbutska Revolutia, HMS Agincourt, USS Texas, MN Britannia, and USS New York has a rating of 3, while IJN Congo, HMS Iron Duke, and Piotr Veliki have a rating of 4. Battleships have high caliber guns, and thus, in many cases, armor piercing or AP shells are the preferred shell type for such naval guns. So let us compare the AP shell damage of these battleships. USS New York has an AP shell damage of 1400, IJN Congo has 1400, HMS Iron Duke 1288, Piotr Veliki 1467, MN Britannia 1277, SMS Viribus Unitas 1187, SMS Koenig 1176, USS Texas 1400, HMS Agincourt 1120, RM Julio Cesar 1344, and Oktarbutska Revolutia 1210. HMS Agincourt has an AP shell rating of 1, SMS Koenig has a rating of 2, SMS Viribus Unitas 3, Oktarbutskaya 4, MN Britannia 5, HMS Iron Duke 6, RM Julio Cesar 7, USS New York, IJN Congo, and USS Texas at 8, and Piotr Veliki at 9. Using the prescribed formula, we will find a DPM for AP shells of these battleships. USS New York has a reload time of 23 seconds, has 10 guns, dispersion factor of 0.8, and AP shell damage of 1400. Thus, she has a DPM of 29,217.391. IJN Congo has a reload time of 21 seconds, has 8 guns, dispersion factor of 0.854, and AP shell damage of 1400. Thus, she has a DPM of 27,328. HMS Iron Duke has a reload time of 22 seconds, has 10 guns, dispersion factor of 0.936, and AP shell damage of 1288. Thus, she has a DPM of 32,879.127. Piotr Veliki has a reload time of 23 seconds, has 8 guns, dispersion factor of 0.983, and AP shell damage of 1467. Thus, she has a DPM of 30,095.186. Britannia has 22 seconds reload time, 10 guns, and dispersion factor of 0.79 with AP shell damage of 1277, and thus she has a DPM of 27,513.545. SMS Viribus Unitas has 22 second reload time, has 12 guns, dispersion factor of 0.712, and 1,187 AP shell damage. Thus, she has a DPM of 27,659.258. SMS Koenig has a 19 second reload time, has 10 guns, dispersion factor of 0.736, and AP shell damage of 1176. Thus, she has a DPM of 27,332.715. HMS Aginco has 21 second reload time, 14 guns, 0.982 dispersion factor, and 1,120 AP shell damage. Thus, she has a massive DPM of 43,993.6. RM Julio Cesar has a reload time of 21 seconds, 10 guns, 0.9 dispersion factor, and AP shell damage of 1344. Thus, she has a DPM of 34,560. And finally, Oktarbutskaya Revoluция has 22 second reload time, 12 guns, dispersion factor of 0.833, and AP shell damage of 1210. Thus, she has a DPM of 32,986.8. Here, we can clearly see that HMS Aginco again wins the race with 43,993.6 hit points damage as a DPM, and other than that, everything lies in the range of 29, 27, 30. So overall, HMS Agincourt is the strongest ship in terms of DPM. 4 mechanics which govern the AP shell damage output of these battleship caliber shells. That is AP shell normal damage, AP shell half penetration, AP shell over penetration, and AP shell citadel penetration. Let us look at these in detail. USS New York has an AP shell damage of 1400, AP shell half pen of 700, AP shell over pen of 350, and AP shell citadel penetration of 3500. On the same note, IJN Congo has 1400, 700, 350, and 3500 damage. HMS Iron Duke has 1288, 644, 322, and 3220 damage. Piotr Veliki has 1467, 733.5, 366.75, and 3667.5 damage. MN Britannia has 1277, 638.5, 319.25, and 3192.5 damage. SMS Viribus Unitas has 1187, 593.5, 296.75, and 2967.5 damage output. SMS Koenig has 1176, 588, 294, and 2940 damage output. USS Texas has 1400, 700, 350, and 3500 damage output. HMS Agincourt has 1120, 560, 280, and 2800 damage output. RM Julius Caesar has 1344, 672, 336, and 3360 damage output. And finally, Oktarbutskaya Revolucja has 1210, 605, 302.5, and 3025 shell damage output. We need to see how fast the primary turrets can traverse, and thus we will compare the turret traverse speed of these ships in degrees per second. USS New York has a 4 degree per second turret traverse speed, IJN Congo has 5, HMS Iron Dukes 4, Piotr Veliki 5.5, MN Britannia 4.5, SMS Viribus Unitas 5, SMS Koenig 5, USS Texas 4, HMS Agincourt 4.5, RM Julio Cesar 5, and Oktarbutskaya Revolucja 4. Thus, USS New York, HMS Iron Duke, USS Texas, and Oktarbutskaya Revolucja has a turret traverse speed or TTS rating of 1. MN Britannia and HMS Agincourt has the turret rating of 2. IJN Congo, SMS Viribus Unitas, SMS Koenig, and RM Julio Cesar has a rating of 3, while Piotr Veliki has a rating of 4. All of this adds up to make a cumulative primary armament rating for each ship, and the CPA rating for USS New York is 22, for IJN Congo it's 34, HMS Iron Duke 27, Piotr Veliki 31, MN Britannia 20, SMS Viribus Unitas 16, SMS Koenig 18, USS Texas 24, HMS Ashenko 16, RM Julio Cesar 21, and Oktyabrská Revolucja 16. This makes for the fact that Viribus Unitas, HMS Ashenko, and Oktyabrská Revolucja are the weakest ships in their tier in terms of primary armament, while IJN Congo is the strongest ship in the tier in terms of primary armament. Battleships have been equipped with secondary armaments so that they can be used to target different ships while the primary armament is being loaded. Thus, let us compare the secondary reload times of these guns. USS New York has a secondary armament reload time of 6 seconds, Congo has 9 seconds, HMS Iron Duke 10 seconds, Piotr Veliki 8 seconds, MN Britannia 10 seconds, SMS Viribus Unitas 7.5 seconds, SMS Koenig 6.9 seconds, USS Texas 6 seconds, HMS Agincourt 10 seconds, RM Julio Cesar 6 seconds, and Oktyabrská Revolucja 6 seconds. HMS Iron Duke, MN Britannia, and HMS Agincourt have a secondary reload time or SRT rating of 1, IJN Congo has a rating of 2, Piotr Veliki has a rating of 3, SMS Viribus Unitas 4, SMS Koenig 5, and USS New York, USS Texas, RM Julio Cesar, and Oktyabrská Revolucja have an SRT rating of 6. Previously done, we will also check the secondary range and compare the secondary range of the guns. USS New York has a secondary range of 5.61 kilometers. IJN Congo has 5.28 kilometers, HMS Iron Duke 5.28 kilometers, Piotr Veliki 4.91 kilometers, MN Britannia 5.28 kilometers, SMS Viribus Unitas 5.94 kilometers, SMS Koenig 5.61 kilometers, USS Texas 5.61 kilometers, HMS Agincourt 5.28 kilometers, RM Julio Cesar 5.28 kilometers, and finally Oktyabrská Revolucja 5.28 kilometers. Thus, Piotr Veliki has a secondary range rating of 1, IJN Congo, HMS Iron Duke, MN Britannia, HMS Agincourt, RM Julio Cesar, and Oktyabrská Revolucja has a secondary range rating of 2, USS New York, SMS Koenig, and USS Texas have a rating of 3, and finally SMS Viribus Unitas has a rating of 4. Let us now compare the shells fired by these secondary guns. Most of the battleship lines in the game use HE shells as their preferred shell in their secondary armaments, but the German line is an exception where they use AP shells as their preferred shell type. So let us look into that. USS New York fires HE shells, which has a damage output of 280, IJN Congo 426, HMS Iron Duke 336, Piotr Veliki 291, MN Britannia 336, SMS Viribus Unitas 426, SMS Koenig 504, but she uses AP or he uses AP, USS Texas 280, HMS Agincourt 336, RM Julio Cesar 269, and Oktyabrská Revolucja 269. Now, let us look at the damage per minute or DPM of all the secondary shells. So USS New York has a reload time of 6 seconds, has 16 secondary guns, dispersion of 0.698, and secondary shell damage of 280. Thus, the DPM of USS New York is 31,270.4. On the same note, IJN Congo has 9 second reload time, 14 secondary guns, 0.571 dispersion factor, and 426 secondary shell damage. Thus, she has a DPM of 22,702.96. HMS Iron Duke has 10 second reload time, 12 secondary guns, 0.833 dispersion factor, and 336 secondary shell damage. Thus, she has a DPM of 20,151.936. Pyotr Veliki have a 8-second reload time, 16 guns, 0.753 dispersion factor and 291 secondary shell damage. Thus she has a DPM of 26,294.76. Armament Britannia has 10-second reload time, 20 secondary guns, 0.593 dispersion and 336 secondary shell damage. Thus she has a DPM of 23,909.76. SMS Viribus Unitas have a secondary reload time of 7.5 seconds, 12 guns, 0.583 dispersion factor and 426 secondary shell damage. Thus she has a DPM of 23,842.368. SMS Koenig has 6.9 second reload time, 14 secondary guns, 0.857 dispersion factor and 504 secondary shell damage. Thus she has a DPM of 52,582.539, which is highest in her tier. USS Texas has a reload time of 6 seconds, has 6 secondary guns and 0.54 dispersion factor with 280 secondary shell damage. Thus, she has a minuscule DPM of 9,072. HMS Agenco has 10-second reload time, 20 secondary guns, 0.9 dispersion and 336 hit points for secondary shell damage. Thus, the DPM of HMS Agenco is 36,288. RM Julio Cesar has 6-second reload time, 12 secondary guns, 0.775 dispersion and secondary shell damage is 269. Thus she has a DPM of 25,017. And finally, Okhtarbutskaya Revolutia has 6-second reload time, 10 guns and dispersion factor of 0.6 and secondary shell damage of 269. Thus she has a DPM of 16,140. Thus, SMS Koenig has the highest DPM of 52,582.539, while HMS Agenco has USS Texas has the lowest DPM of 9,072. Thus, RM Julio Cesar and Okhtarbutskaya Revolutia have a secondary shell rating of 1, USS New York and USS Texas have a rating of 2, Pyotr Veliki has a rating of 3, HMS Iron Duke, MN Britannia and HMS Agenco have rating of 4, IJN Congo and SMS Viribus Unitas have a rating of 5, and finally SMS Koenig have a rating of 6. Thus, putting all of these factors into one and not taking into consideration the fire chance and turret traverse speed of the secondary guns, because of the fact that turret traverse speed, even though it is important, it is not as important as a primary turret traverse speed, and the fire chance in secondary shells are extremely low. So it won't make a difference. Taking those things into consideration, the cumulative secondary armament rating or CSA rating is as follows: USS New York 11, IJN Congo 9, HMS Iron Duke, Pyotr Veliki and MN Britannia 7, SMS Viribus Unitas 13, SMS Koenig 14, USS Texas 11, HMS Agenco 7, RM Julio Cesar 9, Okhtarbutskaya Revolutia 9. And thus we can see in the Department of Secondary Armaments, SMS Koenig leads the way with 14, while the lowest set is HMS Iron Duke, Pyotr Veliki, MN Britannia and HMS Agenco. With naval-based aircraft playing a major role during the First and Second World Wars, it was evident that all these battleships would have some kind of anti-aircraft armament. Let's compare the total AA damage of these battleships. USS New York had a total AA damage of 168, IJN Congo 168, HMS Iron Duke 159, Pyotr Veliki 78, MN Britannia 94, SMS Viribus Unitas 31, SMS Koenig 185, USS Texas 329, HMS Agenco 47, RM Julio Cesar 157 and finally Okhtarbutskaya Revolutia 204. Therefore, we can give a cumulative AA rating for the damage output. SMS Viribus Unitas has a CAA or cumulative anti-aircraft rating of 1, HMS Agenco has a rating of 2, Pyotr Veliki has a rating of 3, MN Britannia 4, RM Julio Cesar 5, HMS Iron Duke 6, USS New York and IJN Congo 7, SMS Koenig 8, Oktoberska Revolucja 9, and finally USS Texas 10. The final statistic that we will compare for these battleships will be the surface detection. USS New York has a surface detection of 10.74 kilometers, IJN Congo 11.34 kilometers, HMS Iron Duke 10.08 kilometers, Pyotr Veliki 10.32 kilometers, MN Britannia 10.68 kilometers, SMS Viribus Unitas 9.60 kilometers, SMS Koenig 10.26 kilometers, USS Texas 10.74 kilometers, HMS Azenco 10.2 kilometers, HMS Julio Cesar 10.5 kilometers, and Oktoberska Revolucja 10.68 kilometers. Thus, IJN Congo has a cumulative concealment rating of 1, USS New York and USS Texas has a rating of 2, MN Britannia and Oktoberska Revolucja has a rating of 3, RM Julio Cesar has a rating of 4, Pyotr Veliki has a rating of 5, SMS Koenig a rating of 6, HMS Agincourt a rating of 7, HMS Iron Duke a rating of 8, and SMS Viribus Unitas the rating of 9. Thus, we have completed the rating procedure for all these ships, and there are 6 different criteria in which we have rated the ships. That is, the survivability rating, the maneuverability rating, the primary armament rating, the secondary armament rating, the anti-aircraft armament rating, and the concealment rating, named as CS rating, CM rating, CPA rating, CSA rating, CAA rating, and CCON rating respectively. And we will accumulate all these ratings and have a final rating for the ships and then give them a ranking. Let's start with USS New York. So USS New York has a CS rating of 18, CM rating of 5, CPA rating of 22, CSA rating of 11, CAA rating of 7, and CCON rating of 2 for a final rating of 65. IJN Congo has a CS rating of 18, CM rating of 15, CPA rating of 34, CSA rating of 9, CAA rating of 7, and CCON rating of 1, having a final rating of 84. HMS Iron Duke has a CS rating of 14, CM rating of 8, CPA rating of 27, CSA rating of 7, CAA rating of 6, and CCON rating of 8, thus having a final rating of 70. Pyotr Veliki has a CS rating of 19, CM rating of 8, CPA rating of 31, CSA rating of 7, CAA rating of 3, and CCON rating of 5, having a final rating of 73. MN Britannia has a CS rating of 6, CM rating of 7, CPA rating of 20, CSA rating of 7, CAA rating of 4, and CCON rating of 3, having a final rating of 47. SMS Viribus Unitas has CS rating of 9, CM rating of 11, CPA rating of 16, CSA rating of 13, CAA rating of 1, and CCON rating of 9, thus having a final rating of 59. SMS Koenig has a CS rating of 10, CM rating of 10, CPA rating of 18, CSA rating of 14, CAA rating of 8, and CCON rating of 6, having a final rating of 66. USS Texas has a CS rating of 17, CM rating of 5, CPA rating of 24, CSA rating of 11, CAA rating of 10, and CCON rating of 2, thus having a final rating of 69. SMS Agincourt has a CS rating of 14, CM rating of 5, CPA rating of 16, CSA rating of 7, CAA rating of 2, and CCON rating of 7, thus having a final rating of 51. RM Julio Cesar has a CS rating of 13, CM rating of 15, CPA rating of 21, CSA rating of 9, CAA rating of 5, and CCON rating of 4, having a total rating of 67. And finally, Oktoberska Revolucja has a CS rating of 11, CM rating of 14, CPA rating of 16, CSA rating of 9, CAA rating of 9, and CCON rating of 3, having a final rating of 62. With this, we have come to the end of the final rating procedure, and now we will give ranking to the ship. And IJN Congo with a final rating of 84, is placed as the first or the best ship in her tier, followed by Piotr Veliki at position 2nd for 73 final rating, followed by HMS Iron Duke in the 3rd place with a final rating of 70. Then the others are USS Texas at 4th with 69 final rating, RM Julio Cesar at ranking 5 with 67 final rating, SMS Koenig in 6th position with 66 final rating, USS New York in the 7th position with 65 final rating, followed by Oktябрьская Revoluция at rank 8 with 62 final ranking, followed by SMS Virbis Unitas in rank 9 with 59 final rating, HMS Agincourt at 10th position 51 final rating, and finally MN Britannia at ranking 11 with 47 final rating. Thus we can say that Congo is the best ship in a tier, while Britannia is the worst, and that actually equates to how the entire ship performs in the game. With this, we have come to the end of today's extended comparison video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and also I hope you all learned something from it. If you did, I really appreciate if you would hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also hit the bell icon to stay notified. Also remember to share this video to your friends and other players whom you want to tell how this ship mechanics works, or you want to recommend a particular line for them to play. And also remember to comment your next line that you want to see being compared in the next extended video. Till then, Pinnacle Gamers Lounge asking for your leave. I hope you all will have a great day ahead. Thank you and enjoy playing World of Warships Blitz. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Thank you.